Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs may be the most important movie in animated history, but where does it rank amongst the all-time great Disney classics? We're here to find out, but first, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell to see more content about pop culture and gaming. And let's dive in. Welcome Disney fans of the channel, my name is Reza Retro, and today we're embarking on an exciting journey through the magical world of Disney animation, where we rank every Disney animated film. Having grown up immersed in Disney classics, I have a deep appreciation and love for the timeless stories. Join me as we explore the timeless characters, enchanting worlds, and enduring legacy of Disney's animated classics. We're going to start with the one that started it all, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which was released in 1937. This groundbreaking film marked Disney's first full-length cel animated feature, and that's a lot to say, and set the stage for the illustrious Disney animated canon. Released in 1937, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs marked a pivotal moment in cinematic history as Disney's first full-length animated film. At the time, the concept of a feature-length animated story was met with skepticism. Animated shorts were common, but Walt Disney envisioned something revolutionary, a film that would not only tell a great story, but have emotional depth. Walt Disney's decision to produce Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs as a full-length animated feature was driven by a combination of artistic ambition and a desire to elevate animation to a respected form of storytelling. Animation was seen as a novelty relegated to short films, but Disney believed deeply in its potential to convey rich narratives and memorable characters. Central to Disney's vision was the development of the multi-plane camera, a groundbreaking technology that allowed for greater depth and realism in animated scenes by using multiple layers of artwork and moving the camera back and forth to create a 3D effect. This innovation, though, required significant investment in research and development, as well as intensive training for animators to master the new techniques. Each frame of the film demanded meticulous attention to detail, pushing the boundaries of what animation could achieve. Producing Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs as a feature-length film was a monumental risk for Disney Studios. This could have ended up in ruin. The project required unprecedented financial resources, with costs escalating as the technology and production processes evolved. Disney faced skepticism from industry peers and potential investors who doubted the viability of a feature-length animated film. And to people that think that you can't do anything, don't believe them, because Disney, one of the greatest companies of all time, despite what's going on with them right now, was laughed at, scoffed at, and look where it turned out. To finance the project, Disney took extraordinary measures, including mortgaging his own home and leveraging personal assets, underscoring the high stakes involved. Beyond financial consideration, Disney was driven by a passion to push the boundaries of animation and storytelling. He aimed to create a film that would resonate with audiences of all ages, showcasing animation as a medium capable of conveying emotion and narrative depth. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs became not just a business venture, but a labor of love. A testament to Disney's unwavering commitment to innovation and creativity. After years of intensive production and creative challenges, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs premiered in December of 1937 to critical acclaim and overwhelming commercial success. Audiences were captivated by the film's lush animation, compelling characters, and enchanting musical score. Its success not only saved Disney Studios from financial ruin, but also set a new standard for animated storytelling. Growing up with Disney films such as Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and other movies, I was always captivated by their timeless charm and imaginative worlds. But now, reviewing this classic as an adult, and reflecting on its ambitious production, cultural impact, and enduring appeal, I marvel at the risks Walt Disney took and the lasting legacy he created. Next, let's delve into my reflections on how Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs has shaped my understanding of animation and storytelling, exploring its themes and its place among Disney's timeless classics. This is what you've been waiting for, so here we go. Reflecting on Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs brings me back to my childhood. These films, such as Snow White and other Disney classics, were not just entertainment, they were an escape. They were a magical getaway to a world of imagination, whether I wanted to escape family drama, school, have a good time with my siblings, my mom, and my dad. And one thing I've always loved, even then, was the storybook opening. Something that's lost today, and I think really captures the charm of Disney classics. Another touching detail in Snow White that I noticed is the open note from Walt Disney to the production team and everyone that watched the film. It added a personal touch that is rare in today's production, in my opinion. As a child, Snow White was both enchanting and frightening. I remember being afraid of when the witch transformed from the queen, or when Snow White was wandering through the eerie forest. And looking back, I realized how older Disney films had a darker tone. Scenes like Snow White and the animals breaking into the cottage were something that made me smile. It was something I thought about at the time of watching the film recently, but I don't think it's that serious. And I really admire the attention to detail from the animators who probably drew people kind of like mocap does today. They probably had people act out scenes and drew them, while also adding more exaggerated movement that you would see in older cartoons. And I think this also plays into the fact that this was the early 1930s and the silly symphonies were going on. And it's something that I always enjoyed. They were always exaggerated. The attention to detail is so good in this movie. And you can tell it drew inspiration from these earlier cartoons by the whimsical music and the slapstick humor that I always love in films. The dwarves had very distinct personalities, and I think you can tell by the way that Grumpy's character develops throughout the film. And he starts out very angry. Grumpy doesn't like women, which is dated from the 1930s. It's out of date, yes. And is very skeptical of everything. But by the end of the film, he develops into a kind and caring character who even cries for Snow White when she dies. Another thing that I loved is the slapstick humor. I'm a huge fan of that and watched the Three Stooges, and this is very reminiscent of those times. I felt like the movie was like I said, it's a journey. It has whimsical moments, very serious moments, and that is very evident towards the end when the witch shows up, gives Snow White the apple, and Snow White dies, quote unquote. I don't think she dies. She just falls asleep from what the spell told us. But then it becomes very, not rushed, but you can tell that the dwarves are in a rush, in my opinion. Very like let's go help Snow White. The climactic battle scene set amidst the thunder and rain was very much a sense of urgency. You felt that the dwarves really needed to do something, and they did. And it's something that great storytelling, again, I say great storytelling, really captures. If you can tell a great story, you've captivated the audience, which is something that's lost in today's filmmaking, in my opinion. I remember that another thing that I remember is when the dwarves were like, oh, our cobwebs are missing. Like they liked living in filth. There was a lot of comedic relief, but also a lot of tense moments, especially towards the end when the witch shows up and the fight breaks out. And then The witch obviously gets crushed by a boulder. The prince, let's get to him. He was very much not in the story. I mean, he was in there, but he really didn't do anything until the end. And it's kind of comedic, in my opinion, that the dwarves were the ones that took care of her and preserved her body and put her in a coffin and all this. And then the prince comes out, kisses her, and she just leaves the dwarves. Doesn't even take them to the castle. It's kind of funny, but also kind of sad, in my opinion. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs stands as a cornerstone of animation history, marking Disney's bold leap into feature-length storytelling with its captivating visuals and enduring characters. However, as I reflect on its impact in my personal viewing experience, I find it comfortably placed in what I consider a B-tier category of Disney classics. While the film's historical significance and technical achievements are undeniable, such as its pioneering use of color, multiplane camera, and synchronized audio, its storytelling style and pacing may not resonate with audiences today. The narrative, while enchanting and timeless, occasionally feels constrained by its era, with characterizations and themes that can appear simplistic compared to more complex contemporary storytelling. Nevertheless, Snow White remains a beloved classic that laid the foundation for Disney's subsequent successes, setting a standard for animated storytelling that continues to influence filmmakers today. Its artistry, from the detailed animation to the memorable musical numbers, ensures its place as a cultural touchstone. In essence, while it may not be a film that I revisit as often as others in Disney's catalog, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs deserves recognition for its pioneering spirit, enduring charm, and the magical world it brought to life for generations of viewers. As a B-tier movie, it holds a special place in the evolution of animation and the hearts of those who cherish Disney's rich storytelling.